Chad Daybell, Alex Cox, Bryan Kohberger, and Chad Dorman. What do they all have in common? Hello, I'm Audrey Briggs, the Salty Psychic, here once again to discuss murder and crime. So, welcome to the channel. Hello, hello. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm glad you found me. And we're going to talk about some serious sides of murder cases that we don't talk about in the courtroom, okay? And that is the invisible um, spirit side of things, including bad energy. Today, we're going to talk about four cases, really three cases, really, if you want to double up and include Daybell and Cox in the same case. Basically, four men in particular who have killed people. Oh, am I supposed to say allegedly? Well, if that makes you feel better, sure. We can go ahead and say allegedly, and we're going to talk about why. Why am I salty about that? So, yes, I am salty here when it comes to murder cases because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of abuse. I am sick of neglect. I'm sick of murder. And my husband's like, my husband and I met on YouTube. He was one of my moderators. And when we met in person for the first time, he was surprised how quiet I am in real life. I mean, this is me. But I get so upset on this channel because I'm very passionate about protecting human beings and our rights as women, etc., etc. There's no justice in murder. So, yeah, I get really upset. I cuss. I say shit. I call people out because I'm angry. I'm angry that this world is the way that it is. It's not okay. If you don't care for this version of me, go to my other channel, Audrey Christine. Head over there. That's just homemaker. That is just Audrey at home. That's what I should call it. Audrey at home, where we talk about eating habits, shopping, cooking, relationships. We talk about all that kind of stuff. But that's not what we're doing right now. I think a lot of us wonder, how does someone get to the point where they either have murdered or they want to murder? How do we get to that point as spiritual beings? But for these four particular men, it is my professional opinion as a professional psychic. In my opinion, these four men in particular have called out and requested help, aid, assistance from the dark side, dark entities, dark energies, evil, demonic. And as those words are coming out of my mouth, I'm getting a feeling. And I have to be careful talking about such things, because when you start talking about that kind of energy or speaking about it, maybe writing a book about it, guess what comes into your presence? So these four men in particular, so we have Daybell, Cox from the same case, basically, Kohberger and Dorman. So let's start with Daybell. Chad Daybell, current case, they're in court right now. I'm not recording those anymore because it's really too time consuming for me to sit down. I can't do any other content if I'm strictly watching court during the day. So anyway, Chad Dorman, Chad Daybell is a cultist. He's made up his own religion. He's made up his own Bible, if you will. I mean, he doesn't call it that, but really his own list and book of behavior, tactics, how to survive, how to live your best life. It's all BS. It's cult. It's cultish. It's a cult. He has had his own cult. And that's where Lori Vallow Daybell found him, through his books, through his teachings, like Jesus. Well, he's not Jesus. He's nothing good, Chad Daybell. He may get the death penalty. But Chad is a master manipulator. When you look at the man, it's like, what? Who is this? This guy? He doesn't look like anybody special to me. Well, he doesn't look special to me either. Sorry, that's moving. Hands off. Chad got to where he is, Chad Daybell. He got to where he is in life because he called on the dark side. He was diagnosing people as zombies, demons, saying that person 1, 2, and 3 are dark energy and they need to be gone off the planet. Person number 4, 5, and 6 have different names. Here's their real names. I mean, really far out there. And things like that don't come into play. They don't come into fruition into the real world unless you're seeking assistance from the other side. That's just how it has to go. That's the only way for it to go. You have to call upon what you want to bring into your life. It's really easy. It's basically the law of attraction. The law of attraction works for good and for not so good, and for murder. And Alex Cox, Lori's brother, I've channeled him before. I channeled him when I was following, is it Adam and Rex? I can't remember Lori's brother's name. Is it Adam? Lori's other brother, and uncle. So I watched 8 of their YouTube videos when they first came out with their YouTube channel. I only committed to watching the first 8 because they said it was going to be a temporary channel. They're going to do 8 videos, and that was going to be it. So I committed to watching the 8. During the 8 videos I watched and analyzed, I did have Alex Cox come into my presence. I don't like the way I'm feeling. The other night, and I know it's because I'm watching the court case. The other night, I had a really awful nightmare with Alex in it. And it was very clearly Alex's energy that came to me while I was sleeping. And let me tell you, it was grotesque. Like right now, I felt really sick to my stomach just thinking about the man. And the way he looked at me in my dream was so evil. Just a look that someone could give me to make me feel threatened, put down, laughed at. And he shows me in the dream, he showed me like, look, I'm not even opening my lips, because he was just you know, that kind of smile, not showing any teeth. It was a smirk. But and he was telling me like telepathically, look, I don't even have to open my mouth to get what I want, basically, to do what I want. Like he was basically saying I can get away with what I have and I don't even have to say anything to anybody. So I woke up and I was disturbed by that for a couple days. Frankly, it still does disturb me. I literally can't remember what I was just gonna say. Oh my god. 'Cause my brain is full of Alex Cox. Here goes my hearing. Don't mess with spirits, you guys. Don't do a Ouija board. Don't do anything like that because I'm telling you, spirit is real. Just sitting here talking about someone that's very evil. I'm having symptoms. I'm sick to my stomach. My hearing just went wacky. That's all spirit. Anyway, I'll move on. I don't remember what I was going to say in regards to Alex Cox. Demonic, though. I wouldn't say he was a zombie. I wouldn't say he is anything that Lori and Chad described him as, but definitely working with dark energy to accomplish what he was asked and willing to do. Now, Bryan Kohberger from the Idaho 4 case, he killed allegedly 4 students. This was also thought out, planned, and executed. When Bryan was writing down, this is what I see in my head. I see him writing down his plan. That's new. I've never seen that before from Bryan Kohberger. So I am seeing spirit showing me Bryan Kohberger writing down his plan, all the logistics of it. How's it going to go? If this happens, do this. If that happens, do this other thing. He planned it. So you can't plan something that you can't plan a murder without having dark energy around, because murder is the perfect example of having dark energy, requesting dark energy, using dark energy to get what you want. Kohberger likes his lifestyle, as where Alex was beginning to not care for that lifestyle. Daybell loved his lifestyle. Kohberger lives for this assistance from dark energy. And as he was committing the crimes, the murder, it was almost, I'm getting a vision in my head. It was almost, it's similar, I'm saying, that as he was committing the crimes, his eyes became like solid black. You know, kind of like when a shark attacks, their eyes kind of glaze over and they're just pure black. That's what I'm seeing with Bryan Kohberger, and I'm getting the chills from that. So that's confirmation, from spirit that I am seeing that's what I'm seeing. And he's gross, and we have Idaho stuff to talk about. We do. Okay, Chad Dorman, he's a little punk that killed his kids, his 3 boys, admitted to it, then completely denied it, and then started crying about his rights. And so now his confession is thrown out. I'm sorry, you live in the same universe I do. You know, once you put something out into the universe, it ain't gonna disappear. It's not gonna go anywhere except continue to infiltrate, I don't know, whatever. It's going to fill the whole universe with that. And he also planned the murders of his three sons. Allegedly, he had conveyed that he wanted to do it a few months prior than he actually did do it, but something happened. He changed his mind, whatever the situation was. But then he did end up obviously going through with it. Well, how do you think he ended up proceeding through his hesitance or his stall, where he stalled out and didn't do what he had planned to do? He asked for help from, who do you think? The dark energy. Now, it's been my experience as a psychic. Um, there's no devil. There's no one entity that is the devil. Dark energy is all around us all the time, just as our loved ones are around us. And really, millions of spirits are around us all the time. I'm getting the chills too. Who is this? Someone's coming. Someone's coming to say hello. Like, for example, if you're, whatever your faith is, you may pray for protection, putting, maybe if you're a witch, you also can put protection around you, either through your words or motions with maybe a sage smudge stick or different rocks for protection, because we do need that protection because we are battling here on this planet. I know it sounds dramatic, but we really are. This is the battleground. This stuff here doesn't exist once we cross over. The dark energy doesn't have access to us once we pass this life and leave our bodies. We're completely protected on the other side. So there's no safety concerns after we pass. This is the battlegrounds, which we call life on the planet Earth. And it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's interesting because I know Kohberger and Chad Dorman both have found Jesus as soon as they got into jail. Just like Chris Watts, everyone finds God. They find Jesus to save them. And even though it may be a mockery of Christian religion by these people, and they're just saying that they've found, faith or whatever, they're not going to be punished after they die. That's why the death penalty, I'm really starting to feel like, hey, let's not do that. Let's not give this person an out. They need to stay here and suffer because there's no suffering on the other side. Do we want them to suffer or not? Killing them, they may live in fear for 20 years waiting for the death penalty. Sure, that's pretty miserable if you ask me. But once we pass, it's fine. It's happiness on the other side. So I as much as I hate paying for people to live in prison, it comes out of our taxes and stuff. I mean, I'm not against the death penalty at all. But if we're talking about suffering, we want someone to suffer, you need to keep them alive. How weird is that? Because that's what's here. That is what we're doing here. We're basically here to suffer, figure things out, and have lessons. And because, let's say, for example, let's say Bryan Kohberger's energy, his soul, just because he's that way this life doesn't mean he's going to be this way in it if he has a next life. So there's a lot to talk about as far as spirits and behavior and future and pathways and different things like that. But these four creatures, they went looking, and a couple of them are still looking to receive help from the dark side. And that's what I'm being shown right now. As Chad Daybell sits in the courtroom facing the jury, he's calling on the dark side to protect him. And the scary thing is it can happen. The dark side has powers. The dark side can definitely protect when they want to. Protect their own, so to speak. So we're not playing. We're not playing, you guys. This spiritual warfare is a real thing. And that's why you have to make good choices in your life. Because when you don't make good choices and you make something serious, you choose something bad, evil, whatever, it's not good. All right, that's all I have for today, you guys. Don't forget to check out my other channel, Audrey Christine. I gotta go do a dessert right now for that channel. I'm gonna video a new dessert that I'm gonna try. So if that interests you, head over there, subscribe there, and I'll see you soon. All right, take care. Ciao.